Okay, we are looking at DacEasy Point of Sale, and the task this morning is importing the product list items into DacEasy. How do we go about it? Now, first of all, if I click on edit here and I look at my products, I'm pressing F5 on my keyboard here. You look at now the product list is empty. There's nothing in this point of sale version right now, and we are trying to import rather than the option of entering it one after the other. Now on my desktop, let me minimize this. There's a file here I want to work on, which is called Dan Item 22. It's a CSV file. Opening it right now, and I say let me straighten everything out. Now look at some of these numbers here. No matter how you push it, they are still maintaining the formatting for general. So we have to convert them to numbers right now. Do one or two things. We might not be needing this column, which according to the guy who gave me this file now, this line is not important. It's a fraction for the list. So we are going to delete it. I've removed it. Now all this, from what I'm looking at, this is the cost and this is the selling price. Okay. So we got everything correct, but observe that some of the costs here have no figures. Okay, this one that don't have cost figures, there's nothing we can do about that. But in any case, I think let's try to do something about it. But what is more worrisome are the ones that don't have code. The ones that don't have code, DacEasy Point of Sale will not accept it. So let's see if we can just do one or two things. Now, I'm going to insert a column here for serial number. After doing it 1 to 3, then I double click on the edge and it runs it to the end for me. This is for me to know the exact position of each of this file we are working on. Then I highlight on all. I do a sorting. I'm doing a custom sorting. I'm dealing with the B column first. Let me treat the codes first. Then when I scroll down towards the end, towards the end here, these ones that doesn't have code, I can work something out. I can either delete them off, because this is for the purpose of demonstration, but on the other side, I can also create numbers for them that don't already exist. Okay, see now that they all have codes right now, and for now, temporarily that will do as their codes. But in any case, if it's for a production, you need to actually, according to the policy of the organization, put the correct thing there. Now, I want us to also do something about this cost price. Now, these three are the same. I will tell you the reason they are like this for in a moment. But for now, I want us to create, to give these zeros, give them figures, because our margin is 20%. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a formula and say if this column is equals to 0, then take it as 80%. Whoa. Yeah. Now take it as 80% of this figure, right? But if it is not 0, then whatever it is, repeat it. That's the formula I've put there now. And now it gives me all this. But it's very important that we round this formula because of some that will not Now I put it in a round. I drop the formula there again. Let's round it to 2 decimal. Okay, now I run it down. Now these are the costs. Now for some that have this, instead of creating a long instances for us, we now have their formulas as they ought to be. So that is okay. I'm going to copy it and say insert them as their values here. The same thing here. The same thing here. Now I don't have anything to do with this column H again. So I let it go. So now from the concept of things, the way I'm looking at it right now, column D is cost, which is standard. E is average. F is last purchasing price. And G is the selling price. Okay, what other thing we need to take care of? Alright, let's go back to this column B. That some of them are just writing things like this. The easiest thing to do is to go down here. I click on this last row number B. And I move up again and go to this bar here and say B1 column. When I enter, it will highlight everything. Now I'm going to right click and format cells. I will say these cells are numbers, but don't put decimal. When I OK, everything becomes alright. You see? Okay. If for some unique reasons the initial serialized number are important, then we return the whole data back to each serial A and OK, and we are back to how it was before. At this moment, I don't need column A again. Now, this is our data fully worked upon. The advice here is to save this as a normal Excel file. I'm putting it on my desktop right now, and I'm going to change this one now to 01, but instead of a CSV now, let's just be a normal Excel file. Okay, now from now onward, this is a file I'll be referring to. I have an Excel file which is on the desktop. However, I'm going to create a CSV version of this because it is CSV version that you actually import. So this is CSV, and I also save it to the desktop. I say yes, but when I'm closing it, I don't need it to save in that format again. That way it will retain the CSV 01 value and the normal Excel 01 value. Then we are going back to our DacEasy Point of Sale right now. Now I go to File, Import. For the selection, I'm going to say it is for product. Then this layout file name, let me give it a name called Dan, because we are talking about Dan item now. Then when I click lookup, not lookup now, fields, now it's going to say the layout file doesn't exist. Can I create? Yes, go ahead and create. Now take note that our file that we are trying to import has a format where there is code first, there is description next. We don't have department. I think the next thing there is to go straight to cost. Now from our file we have standard cost, we have average cost, we have last purchasing price. Before we now have sales price. Where is the sales price now? Look at it here. Now it is very important that they are arranged in the order of columns that your file is. For a moment, I will go back to check my Excel file here to make sure that code, description, cost price, then this is the selling price. So they are in order. Then I say okay. Now the part, sometimes when you click here and you want to change, go to the part, there are certain funny things that it does, maybe some programming issues. So the best way is for me to paste the part myself. So what do is I go to users, I go to the name of my computer. It is on the desktop here. Now the file I'm trying to import is this CSV01. This is it. And I click, I rename. I'm not renaming, I just want to copy the name. When I come here, I paste it here. Of course, you know that there is a backward slash missing here. I'm using my laptop. I can't see the backward slash, so I'm copying this and pasting it like this. Okay, so it's .csv. I'm not going to enter. The reason for this is just to copy the part. Let me know. I close it down. I've copied it, Control C. Then I come here and I just paste it. The next thing is just to click OK. Then you begin to wait. It might take a while. Go ahead, take a cup of coffee or something. We'll come back to it when it's done. Okay, this is one dicey situation here. Probably one of the codes that I created was already existing and the system may not know what to do exactly with such cases. In this instance, I'm going to override all. But for your production deployment phase, you must ensure that no code has the same name with another code. So for this, I'm just going to override all. Okay. It says file import successfully completed. Sometimes when you do this import, if you don't have everything tidied up the way I've done, you might not see this. There might be an error message where you go and see giving you a place to click on the screen to see the full details of whatever error must have happened, especially if there are no codes and one or two issues. But for us, it's done successfully. We say continue. Now we are through. But to confirm what we have done, I click on Edit, Products, I press my F5, and the list is here. They are all done. Double click on any one here. This is the standard price, last purchase price, average price. I click on the sales tab here, and the sales price is there, and we are good and ready. Everything has been imported. This is how to do an import in DacEasy Point of Sales. Thank you very much, and God bless.